Good morning, everyone. Hope that you are doing well, feeling good. Thank you so much for being here, waking up in the neighborhood. One little step, sorry. Today, we are checking out the Field Mice. We're going to give a listen to this track, Sensitive. I believe that this was just a single release in 1989, although it was featured in a few compilation albums and such. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Andreas. Andreas, thank you so much for the recommendation and the suggestion. I truly appreciate that. I can't say that I've heard of the Field Mice. I've heard of field mice, and you don't want those in certain areas or getting around. But yeah, I can't say that I've ever heard of them. If I'm to take a guess at the band, just a stab in the dark just by their name, I'm thinking like new wave or something. I don't know why my mind always goes to new wave. That's where my mind goes a lot of times for different genres. Anyways, just one way to find out. Let's give them a listen. Discuss them after. Let's see if they get the cheese or if they get caught in a trap. Post-punk feel. That sounds like Joy Division. Right out this wave, huh? This sounded like Joy Division if the joy wasn't ironic. Like this was a more upbeat, kind of not flowery, but like poppy and happier Joy Division. You got the bass sound, that very post like, and that just carries through the whole way. The drumming, let me see something about the drumming really quick. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of the track here. Okay, because what I was thinking about is at the end of the track when it just goes off for about 2 minutes or so and it's just that instrumental outro there, the drumming, the kick is just constant. Bum, 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 bum. And I was kind of wrapped up into the music there by the outro because it's a very, euphoric in its own way kind of ending. And I was wondering, was it always playing like constantly like that? And yes, it was. I don't know why. I got wrapped up in here and I was like, it's playing constant, but I think that's just because of the buildup of the rest of the music around it. So this was a cool little piece of like I said, this kind of, I don't know, slightly more upbeat post-punk kind of sound. And I think that they do it really well. The outro there, this is going to sound weird. I'm of two minds on the outro because on one hand, I felt like it went on a little bit long and I guess for me, I was expecting like some sort of change or something to happen in there or some sort of extra solo or something to kind of change it up a little bit. But at the same time, I can also see that it didn't really need it because it's just meant to vibe out for 2 minutes. And you do get changes in there because the guitar comes on top of it and starts to play a little bit of a lead, very much in the same way Cure, Joy Division, and all these other bands would do. They're not going to go off and just put on a blistering solo or involve some weird break in there. No, they're going to let you ride that wave. They're going to give you an extra little lead on top of things to keep it vibrant, and then they're going to ride you out. And the track does that in a good way. So I'm like weirdly of two minds about that. But it sounded good either way. And then the singing. Let's see if I can see who is the singer here. I see the members. It started with suburb of Mitchum rather, comprising of Robert Wharton, who's playing the vocals, who is the vocalist and playing guitar, and then Michael Hiscock, who's playing the bass. Okay, so Ratton has that voice that I think really does remind me of Joy Division. I can't help but have that comparison in my mind. But he kind of adds a more dreamy aspect into his singing here. There's something a little bit more dreamy about his performance, and maybe it's due to the music as well, and not so, for lack of a better word, depressive. And then the bass playing, like I said, that's Michael Hiscock, and I mean his bass is just relentless throughout, just going. And while it's, on one hand, part of it is monotonous, part of that bass line, but you do get those little rises, like that come up and down in there. So that provides a nice little momentum to the track. And I'm trying to find who the drummer is. I'm looking through, I'm reading their history because there wasn't anything directly on the track page. It says occasionally Williams would play drums. I'm not exactly sure who's drumming in this particular track, but regardless, it's very hard to keep up that bop 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 bop, just to keep that going up there throughout. So that was impressive as well. I think that this is a nice track. It doesn't really stand out, if I'm being honest, in a huge way, but it's a nice listen. And I'm still kind of two minds on the ending. I do like the chorus and how the guitar fills in a little bit more. Like, I like it, but I don't love it. I like it, though. I'll say that I like it. That's where I'm left. We all need to feel safe, then that's taken away. Sometimes I want to return to before the trouble began, the time of no fear. Sometimes you want to go back. By showing you are sensitive, you do risk being crucified by those you are unlike. My feelings are hurt so easily, that is the price that I pay, the price that I do pay to appreciate the beauty they're killing, the beauty they're busy killing. So, being different makes you the outlier, and you risk being crucified by the others, by the crowd. If you choose to stand out, if the sun going down can make me cry, why should I not like the way I am? And for the moment, before time takes over and time moves forward, be happy with who you are. Enjoy who you are. Then he repeats the lyrics here again in the chorus. My feelings are hurt so easily. That is the price that I pay to appreciate the beauty they're killing. He has that sensitive heart in which he sees the beauty of things, but it's also the beauty that they're killing. There's an impermanence to it, and it hurts. But I like that he still makes the effort to appreciate those things, even if it hurts to lose them and to grow attached, perhaps to those things, whatever they may represent. Says this was the second single released by the band in 1989 and included a fold-out poster depicting a leaf. Sensitive, on which the band's sound verged on shoegazing, has been described as an anthemic statement of purpose, a defensive feeling, and a comment on the way sensitivity is criticized or punished even, which is very true. The single reached number 12 in the UK Independent chart in March that year. It was also voted at number 26 in the 1989 Festive 50. And both singles were included later on the mini album, Snowball. And I think that that's very true. Sensitivity, being emotional, is sometimes looked down upon. I can vouch for that. I'm a very emotional person. I don't always show it outwardly, but I'm incredibly emotional and very sensitive. Very I'm not trying to blow smoke up myself or anything like that. But as I've gotten older, because from a teenager to, let's just say, mid-20s, I was not an emotional person whatsoever. But as I reached my 30s and life happens, I've become much more emotional and in tune with my emotions. And sometimes that is looked down upon. But you ain't going to see me crying because I am who I am and I'm happy to be. You ain't going to see me crying. Well, you let me know what you guys thought of the track in the comments down below. I appreciate you all being here. Andreas, thank you so much for the suggestion and the request as well. I appreciate that. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you as always for being here. Please swing on back by again tomorrow, and I will see you all then. Bye.